All right, so I originally went to art college to become a photographer. Um, that was in my late 30s. I never touched clay, never particularly interested in it. I didn't know it. It was just stuff you bought in Woolworths. Um, but I picked up clay in my second year, I think, um, and just fell in love. It was just the plasticity, the malleability of it was limitless. The possibilities. I started out sculpting. Um, that was sort of my first love. My first commissions were big sculpted pieces. But then handled. I was told that I had to throw as part of the college course. I had to slip cast and throw and various other techniques. And I fell in love with it. It was just so quick and so spontaneous. You started out with a lump of clay, you ended up with a vessel. From there, you could then glaze, do what you like with it, alter the shape. It was just, again, it was just so limitless that it blew my mind. It really did. Um, One of the technicians, God bless him, he gave me a bag of porcelain. It was like a brick, it wasn't being that generous. I had to wet it down and soften it, and if you ever tried to reuse a solid brick of porcelain, you'll know how difficult that was. But I was a poor student, it was free porcelain. So eventually I had porcelain that I could use, and that was the opening of another door, because the quality of throwing with porcelain, so much more. For me, it was just, I'm a perfectionist. I'm very precise, and porcelain suits me to the ground. And when I saw what some of the makers were doing with it, when I read Peter Lane, his books, they were the first books I think I bought. They just read them from cover to cover. They were textbooks. They were picture books. I just wanted to do everything that the books talked about. Um, when I saw what you could do with translucent porcelain, then that was me fixed for the next 10 odd years. And I was making this and its ilk for 10, 15 years or so. But these require a huge amount of effort over an extended period of time. And as I've got older, my health has got less, less everything. Um, and I haven't been able to make that sort of work. So I turned towards using glazes. Now, before all this, I was a chef. So making up a recipe is making up a recipe, whether it's for a fruit cake or a glaze. It doesn't really matter. Just you've got to be precise. You you follow the instructions and you end up with what you want. So I went from that sort of translucent porcelain to working with texture, and different glaze effects, different glaze colours, which is another limitless, never-ending challenge. Um, I threw a lot of boxes. I like boxes. You get they're challenge, a nice challenge. You get interiors, exteriors to glaze. They're forever functional. If all they do is hold bits of jewellery or your car keys, it doesn't matter, they have a use. I love the dichotomy of an interior exterior, and that's the end perfect for that. You have to handle it, you have to pick the piece up to see the interior, to find the colour, whereas an open form, it's all there in front of you. I do enjoy the making boxes. This sort of thing I make as a single piece, if I can get it in the camera. So it's thrown and the top is turned in. Then the groove is made around the side and cut, and then the top comes off. As easy as that. Obviously it's not quite, but it's that sort of thing. As I said, I love the challenge. What I'll do next, I really don't know. I love experimenting so much. Things come on the wheel. I see it in books and magazines and think, gosh, that's a wonderful idea, I'll try that. I've tried almost everything in my time. I forever use porcelain because I just love the material. I love throwing it. I know a lot of people hate it. But if you are willing to give it the time, you get some wonderful results. You have this wonderful white surface. That's the perfect foil for the glaze. And I continue to enjoy it. I hope with luck for many, many years to come, if I can keep away from COVID-19. Thank you.